Hi, my name is Reets. Thank you for joining me for story time. Tonight I'm going to read the fable of the tortoise and the hare. Don't forget to go to sweetsbyreets.com for a cookie. Like, subscribe, and let me know what stories you would like to hear next. Sweet dreams! A long time ago, in a forest far away, there lived a town full of animals. There was a hare, a frog, a tortoise, and a fox. There were some squirrels, some birds, and many other creatures. The squirrel was the storekeeper, the fox was the minister, and a robin was the doctor. Each animal had a job and a role in the town life. The toad would always stop to sing his friends a song, and no one made a better pot of soup than the cat. The most talkative of all the animals was the hare. The hare's special talent was that he was very fast. He could run over the hill, across the forest, and be back again before anyone even noticed that he was gone. The hare had a rather repetitive habit of boasting about his speed to the other animals. The animals would be polite and ooh and ah. After all, not every town had a speedy hare, and they took some pride in that. The wisest citizen of this town was the tortoise. The tortoise didn't say much, but when a little squirrel or a baby bird had a question, they knew who to ask. One bright morning, the tortoise realized he had run out of lettuce for his breakfast. So he started on his way to Mr. Squirrel's store to buy some more provisions. The tortoise had short legs, and they didn't move very fast. The sun was starting to get high before the tortoise had even made it to the edge of the town. And then the hare came bouncing past. "Mr. Tortoise," he said, "why are you so slow?" And Mr. Tortoise answered, "This is just as fast as my little legs go." The hare laughed. "Tortoise, my friend, you're never going to make it to where you're trying to go." "Ah, you're wrong, Mr. Hare. As long as I keep moving, I'll make it just fine." "In fact," said the tortoise, "I can prove it. I'll challenge you to a race." The toad was nearby, and he almost choked on his laughter. "The tortoise and the hare? That's ridiculous." The hare ran a few circles around the tortoise and then answered, "I accept your challenge." The toad stopped laughing, and the hare jumped into the air. The fox, who had been strolling by, offered to judge. A time and a place was set. Word of the race spread quickly. The town's animals thought the tortoise was a little out of his mind to agree to such a thing. Race day arrived. The air was warm with a light breeze in the air. Not a cloud was in sight. The animals from far and near gathered by the start line. Quite a crowd had arrived. No one wanted to miss this spectacle. The fox stepped up. Ready, set, go, and the race began. The hare leaped ahead, and the tortoise moved his little legs as fast as they could go, which was not very fast. In fact, it was quite slow. The course was long, but the hare was fast. It wasn't long before he could see the finish line in the distance. He looked behind him, and the tortoise was so far back that he just looked like a tiny speck. The hare slowed down a little bit and looked at the soft grass. A cloud passed over the sun, and the hare felt the breeze on his face. "What a lovely day," he thought to himself. "It's going to be at least an hour before the tortoise will be close. I might sit for a minute." The hare sat. The sun came out from behind the cloud. The hare yawned. He could hear a creek babbling in the distance. The grass was really surprisingly soft. The hare closed his eyes. The creek kept babbling, and the gentle sound was joined by a little snore. The hare had fallen asleep. Meanwhile, the tiny speck that was the tortoise started to grow a little bigger. Mr. Tortoise was still moving his little legs as fast as they could go, which was still quite slow. An hour went by, and nothing much changed. The hare was still snoring, and the tortoise was still walking. Then the hare opened his eyes. What a nice nap, he thought. head to the finish line and listen to the animals cheering me on. As he neared the finish line, he could already hear the cheering. How nice! They're cheering for me before I even reach the finish line. He looked behind him, hoping to get a chance to laugh at the tortoise. But the tortoise was nowhere to be seen. Then the hare turned his head back to the finish line, and what did he see? The tortoise was about to cross the line. The hare darted to the finish as fast as he could, but he was too late. The tortoise had already claimed victory. The crowd cheered. "How did you do it?" asked the little chipmunk. Mr. Tortoise nodded, winked, and thought for a moment. Then he answered, "Slow and steady always wins the race." Sweet dreams.